And it's a real privilege to invite on behalf of Dr. Singh and myself, Mr. Dorji Phuntsho, who happens to be the CEO of the Royal Securities Exchange of Bhutan. Now, if some of you have seen my LinkedIn post today, what I have written, I want to reiterate it once more, that when mountains speak, markets. So I could not find a better word to express the importance of these interaction. So today, being the CEO of the Royal Securities Exchange of Bhutan, and in a world where capital markets often echo the chaos of giants, Mr. Phuntsho has quietly pioneered a distinctly Bhutanese model, one that intertwines winds financial innovation with gross national happiness. Again, something that Bhutan has gifted to the rest of the world, the concept of gross national happiness, and they're practicing it. So his lecture, Capital Markets and Sustainable Economic Development in Small Economics, is not just timely, it is essential. It is very essential. I'm sure not many of us were aware of stock exchange existing or security exchange existing in Bhutan probably prior to this talk. So as India and other developing nations rethink inclusive growth, Mr. Phuntsho brings invaluable insight from Bhutan's journey of building capital markets rooted in equity, environmental stewardship, and economic dignity. So the beauty of why this series of idea to impact is important for us, because the core idea or the essence of this discussion exactly relates to the theme or the objective of this series, idea to impact, where we promised ourselves that we will try to listen to those stories. We'll find those stories where a small idea, how it generated, the idea was generated, and how that idea actually translated into impact for a better livelihood, for a better society. So that's how we choose our speakers for this particular series. And I think today it exactly syncs with our broader objective, that how an idea of a capital market intervention in a small economy like Bhutan has impacted or is expected to have a greater impact in future to make it even better on all terms. So just a brief introduction, though it's all there in LinkedIn. Mr. Dorji had as a BA Economics honors. We were the same plane. Thanks. Nice to see that. From Sherutse College, Bhutan. Then a master's in economics from Ferguson College, Pune. And then an MBA in corporate strategy and economic policy from Maastricht School of Management. And so without any further delay, let me welcome Mr. Dorji on behalf of the School of Arts and Sciences, on behalf of the Vinaya Commission School of Economics and Public Policy, and the whole Vinayaka family. Welcome, Mr. Dorji, and many, many thanks for agreeing to be a part of this series. We are really grateful to you. Over to you, Mr. Dorji. Dr. Singh, do you want to say a few words, or do you want to come later in between?
That's okay. We'll give Mr. Dorji the center stage. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Singh. So over to Mr. Dorji. It's all yours.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Dubdelal Thakur. In fact, it's an honor for me to be as one of the guest speaker for your series which I believe is termed as idea to impact. Well, I may not have much idea, but to except share my experience working in the capital market for about close to 2 decades. I have nothing to share but what I've experienced and what I've gone through. And on contrary to what GNH stands for, particularly when we say Bhutan, trying to measure happiness, contentment, people-centric development areas, capital market may not be the place. But still, then we are still trying to redefine how capital market, how financial market in particular, should reform, taking cognizance of what's happening around the world, particularly in the area of sustainability, in the area of climate change, in the area of environmental conservation, in the area of upliftment of poverty. Now, the concept of even global social stock exchanges gaining momentum. So, with this, I would like to first thank uh, Dean Dr. Thakur, and of course, Madam Director in her presence today. Esteemed faculties, I believe they are also present. Sorry, I'm not able to identify. And dear students, I've made a presentation which would not only reflect my experience, but also how the dynamics of our financial markets are changing, its landscape in global arena. Maybe as a student, I found this back then a very dull subject, but having been in the industry, uh, I find it more interesting. I find it more relevant. And thank you very much. So with this, let me take you to my presentation, and maybe if there are any questions, I can take up at the later stage, or you can intervene, or you can let me know as we progress. So thank you very much. So let me take you through. Okay. Before that. Well, is it clear? I'm not sure. Okay.
Yeah, it's visible.
It's visible, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you very much. So, I've been assigned this very relevant topic by Dr. Thakur, and I'm very happy and comfortable to speak on this because this is something which is a part of my day-to-day responsibility. So when we talk about capital markets, of course, it's a subset of financial market. We have, I'm sure you all are aware, we have the brick and mortar, the financial institutions, and then we have the financial market, which uh, where again financial engineering innovations takes place. So together we have a financial system. So under financial market also now you have long term, short term, which of course the short term is the money market and the long term market is the capital market. Well, let me take, if you do not have a capital market, what will happen in an economy? Well, naturally, businesses that look forward to access to finance, that look forward to, you know, uh, scale up, that would have to depend on the traditional finance, which uh, is largely dominated by bank credits and loans from other financial institutions. What will happen to people with liquidity? What will happen to people who wants to invest? So if you do not have a capital market, you miss out on these opportunities to share, the wealth uh, that has been generated by productive sectors. What happens when uh, capital market is not there? That means the forces of demand and supply wouldn't come. So there's no price discovery process which will determine the price of assets, be it a financial asset class or a real world, which, for instance, if it is a real estate, or if it's a precious metal, if it is gold, energy. So you need a certain structure which will help in discovering the prices, because there, in the absence of asymmetry or symmetry in the market, the price discovery may not take place. uh, like I said again, uh, what happens again when there's no capital market? That means there's lack of liquidity. People won't be able to sell their financial assets. People won't be able to buy financial assets. So as a result, besides matching demand and supply in the market, you'll have to retain, say, if it's in financial asset to maturity, or take sell your assets to at a bilateral level where price may not be true or fair. In the absence of capital market, many enterprises may thrive, but again, what happens to transparency? What happens to disclosure standards? What happens to, because now governance may not kick in. So, uh, in an economy that do not have a capital market that has a strong, basis for governance, strong basis for transparency, strong basis for reporting, you may miss out on all these aspects. Again, based on the activities in the capital market, uh, generally people try to innovate. Like I said, brick and mortar banks and financial institutions may continue with the traditional type of financial services, but innovations takes place in the financial market, and this is where you need a robust financial market to take forward the and participate in the economic activities. And of all now, overall, if you're limited to capital, no opportunities for growth, no opportunities for investment, no fair price discovery, lack of it will have an impact on economic growth. So essentially, what I'm trying to say is, if you miss out on the importance of capital market, these are the impact, and ultimately, like I defined, overall the economic growth may not be there. Well, having said that, like to reiterate what I said, uh, capital market per se in Bhutan may not go well with our overarching philosophy of gross national happiness. This term has been coined during the 70s by our fourth king, where he felt that, as a student of economics, we all know the deficiencies of measuring GDP. GDP may not reflect the true state of the economy, true state of development. So, based on all these limitations and challenges, he thought that maybe economic input or economic contribution should be one of the means, but it shouldn't be the end. So, based on that, uh, we developed four pillars for that. Just to quickly run through, uh, GNH is like I said, human-centric model which give importance to uh, people. At the center of development, it's the
Are
people
you
that is.
changing the slides, Mr. Dorji?
No, no, no.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
on the same side.
okay.
So the four pillars are sustainable and economic, socio-economic development. This is a definition where I think in the 70s when we defined, we didn't know, but today I think most of the SDG goals also comes, in that purview, under this purview. So we have environmental conservation, we have preservation of culture, which is very important, identity is something which, and values are which we tend to lose with modern economic development. And this is something which we wish to preserve. When we say preserving culture, it means preserving values, the value system of the country and of being a human. And finally, all these pillars will depend on good governance. And of course, you all know how important good governance is, because it's based on accountability, based on transparency, and based on efficiency. So, based on these four pillars, we have about 37 domains, which of course I won't go in detail. But what is our ultimate goal for development is one, to preserve the environment. So that is indirectly saying that we maintain carbon neutrality. Our constitution mandates us to have 60% of our land coverage under forest at all times. Today we are a little above 70%. Uh, Second, we are looking for inclusive growth. Besides financial access, uh, we must also promote inclusive growth. That means empower people. Our development goals, again, third one is to foster self-reliant communities, means empowering again the communities through different channels, through good governance, and of course, finally, to preserve cultural integrity and biodiversity. So this is something which we have been, in fact, championed, and we remain to do so in the coming futures as well. Except that we always took these things for granted, and we're not able to really uh, capitalize on that. So the latest advent of carbon trading, sustainable finance has not really you know uh, implemented in principle, but we have been following this closely. So I'll take you through the changes later on, what we are trying to do. Well, based on these values, we try to define, okay, as a player in the capital market, how do we contribute towards this overarching principle of gross national happiness? So our main goal is now, when we talk about wealth sharing, we want wider participation in terms of ownership in enterprises. That means, as far as our effort goes, we would like to educate public. We would like to get them on board. We would like to, as far as possible, the enterprises should be broad based. The share ownership should be broad based, and of course, uh, today also we do that in our continuous effort to improve the market. Uh, you all know that the financial system not necessarily channels the resources for productive purposes. We have at times, consumption dominates an economy where uh, savings are mobilized in unproductive uses, and this is something which we try to discourage. And as a main player in the capital market, we ensure that whatever funds are mobilized in capital formation are economically productive. And we also uh, look at how, when the companies come for IPO or when the companies come for listing, we look at how we should position ourselves and be selective on the companies that come on board. Uh, we also see our platform as something which is, besides being productive, but also cheaper source for the enterprises, because usually the loans you get from the banks are expensive, uh, uh, and the banks may not necessarily extend you credit. This will be based on the fundamentals of banking and credit, where credit worthiness have to be taken into consideration. You may need collateral. You may need, other other criteria to qualify. So we would like to be that platform where enterprises can raise funds at a cheaper source, be it debt instruments or be it equities. Another function that we try to promote is, like I said, promote good governance. How do we promote good governance? Well, good governance boil down to stewardship. Uh, Good governance boil down to decision making. And while uh, people make decisions, we ensure that they are accountable. If it is a board of directors, they are accountable to the shareholders. If it's management, they are accountable to the board. So that stewardship theory comes into place. We want the decision makers to be accountable, or we want them to be transparent while making decisions. So all this conflict of interests should be at the minimum. And as far as possible, uh, we are looking at how, now that good governance have been constantly defined, and today we have ESG standards, which is environmental, social, and governance standards, which is defining our corporate landscape. So ultimately, we are looking at an efficient, governance, which will take and play its role in the economy. We are also uh, ensuring that investments are safe, investments are attractive, investors sustainable. I wish to share that today, if we look at our effective return, our market in terms of I forgot to put in some numbers. I thought this could be always, you could get it from any websites. Our market cap is about 60 billion rupees, which is substantially small. But in terms of return, the effective return is about 20% on average. So if you're holding today, Bhutan is still an investment market. We are not speculative, and we don't wish to be speculative as well. We want people to benefit from the investment they make in our companies. Of course, uh, we cannot avoid speculation, but there are some, strategies which may discourage speculation. So today, if you enter into Bhutanese market, there's no way that you can lose, unlike other exchanges where it's very speculative. And I believe Nepal stock market is highly speculative. Of course, few people make money, but most lose out on that. So we don't want to be that. We want to garner that confidence, give that confidence to our public, and no one should lose. Of course, this is again something which is against, or which is opposite to the normal developed market. But again, speculation has to be an informed choice, not a gambling strategy. So that's what we believe in. As a technology provider, platform provider, our trading system has to be very efficient enough to display and attract investors. At the same time, if an investor wants to exit, they should be able to sell at a fair price. And of course, lastly, we look at ourselves as a champion of financial literacy. This is something which we feel it's very important for everyone in the world. Uh, Financial literacy has always been tagged a negative, label, but I feel that this is a life skill, because ultimately, whether you are you know a finance manager or CFO of a multinational company, at the end, if you cannot uh, define or take care of your own finances, you tend to fail, because ultimately our end goal is to be financially secure. So with this, I'll just define you the financial system of Bhutan. Well, we have two regulators. We have the central bank, who is the regulator of the financial institutions, as well as the regulator, a part regulator of financial market. And on the financial market side, we have the Corporate Regulatory Authority, who looks after the primary market. We have banks, five commercial banks. You must have seen the logo of Punjab National Bank. So we have a subsidiary of Punjab National Bank in Bhutan, which is called Druk PNB Bank, where 51% is owned by Punjab National Bank. I believe is one of the largest public sector bank in India. We have Bank of Bhutan, where again 20% of this bank is owned by the State Bank of India, the largest, I think, state bank in India. Public bank in India, sorry. Then we have Bhutan National Bank, Bhutan Development Bank, and T-Bank. Besides that, we have under the non-banking financial institutions, we have insurance companies. You may be surprised to see also we have a strategic partner as GIC, who is a reinsurer in India, which owns 26% of our GIC Bhutan reinsurance company. And we have a pension fund and provident fund, and a digital bank as well. So our financial sector has been transformed. If you look back maybe 20 years ago, we have only few institutions as players, but now today we have many financial institutions, taking space. I mean, in our financial landscape, we have five microfinancial institutions, and these things are going to converge, I guess, soon into technology, and a day will come where, of course, uh, we see that all these banks would and the financial services would be in the form of app uh, or applications. Under the financial market, we are the main player. We have about 9 brokerage firms. Unlike other countries, other economy, especially India, we don't have right now asset management companies or mutual funds or other financial intermediaries that add value. But now that realizing the importance, there are institutional changes taking shape, and soon we will have these professional players. But at the same time, I'll explain why now, how the shift is influencing the forces of the technology is influencing even our financial system in Bhutan. So if there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
No, I think we can take the questions at the end so that
Okay.
your flow is not,
All right, sir.
started. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure this is a slide which represents the entire financial market, like I put it in the beginning. In any economy, this is the structure. When we talk about financial market, where innovation takes place, financial engineering takes place, we have two intangible markets. That's money market and capital market. Money market usually uh, uh, accommodates instruments that are below 1 year, short term, and capital market for long term purpose. We have on the money market side, since these are short term in nature, for Bhutan, we have government bills and discounted bills of the central bank, which are floated in the market. And we have certificate of deposits and commercial papers as well. So this, like I said, commercial papers have helped to reduce financing cost of most of our institutions, that, particularly those which are not financial in nature. So the manufacturing companies, the service industries have leveraged on this uh, instrument, and it has brought down the cost of fund uh, significantly. Today, on average, the lending rate say for overdraft in the banks, would come to about 10 to 12%, but the rate for this commercial paper is around 5 to 6%. So this is how money market and financial innovation engineering helps in terms of building efficiency, particularly bringing down the cost of finance. On the capital market, I'm sure you all know that you have two markets, the primary market and the secondary market. Well, primary market confines itself when the issuers or the companies raise funds for the first time, be it in the form of bond, that's debt, or be it in the form of equities. So in Bhutan also we have two segments of the market, the debt part as well as equity part. And where after they float these instruments through initial public offering, then the financial assets gets transacted in the secondary market. So this is where brokers come in. This is where the trading comes in, and that's where the stock market comes in. We also have two segments under equities. We have secondary market called alternative investment market, where smaller SMEs come and list. This has not been really successful in Bhutan just now because we are yet to, tap onto the true essence of SMEs. Right now, most of our SMEs are more confined towards the normal traditional business setup, and because the understanding of SME is again where innovation takes place for manufacturing, be it manufacturing or be it a technology company. But contrary to that, Bhutan still has to, reach to that level of SMEs. So actually, we designed this market for them. So besides that, we also thought that now that increasingly the world is driven by technology, we thought crowdfunding would be another avenue that would help the businesses to validate, to get public support and funding. So with that in mind, we also started a crowdfunding platform under our wing. Well, with this, uh, I will share my experience in terms of how markets are changing, how financial markets are being defined based on the based on the mm, changes brought about globally. Uh, there's a profound transformation which you all must have also noticed. Our conventional banking system has also evolved many folds, particularly uh, after the advent of core banking system. Then came into the uh, technology based, app based. Then now today we are talking about decentralized finance, we're talking about peer to peer lending, we are talking about. So these things are very profound in our financial market, and these forces are also influencing how Bhutan needs to shape its financial market. So there are three key elements which are changing the dynamics of our financial market, and this is not sparing a very kind of a traditional closed economy as Bhutan. I'm sure in India this must have exploded. One very prominent feature is the technology advancement in the capital market or in the financial market. If you look at how these forces are changing, uh, you must have by now. I don't know whether you all are permitted to invest in different classes of asset. Generation. The second one is I'll go in detail. I'll touch on the three aspects in detail. Second one is we increasingly see rise of demand for green and sustainable investment. We look at the wisdom of the innovators. A company will last long only if they value uh, and if they are matured enough to know what is sustainable. Today, the entire globe is unifying against against climate change. Uh, so this is taking shape, and this is also influencing how investment should be made and how a company should behave. Like I said, now ESG standards are becoming mainstream for any corporate bodies, be it listed companies or be it a listed company or for that matter any company that requires investment in the future. And finally, we have, uh, the technology is making the world flat. Today, maybe for us to trade in Indian securities or for Indians to come and trade in Bhutanese securities, not or for a share of a company, not feasible because there are regulations, there are bylaws in place which tend to exclude us. But with technology, it has garnered emphasis on inclusivity. That means cross border is no longer an issue. If you're on a Binance app, you're able to buy any coins or any digital asset that has been listed on Binance. So that is also changing. So whether you are a startup company, whether you tend to promote an SME or a big company, these things are influencing how capital are being raised. And as an investor, these are also defining how investment should be made. So, in fact, these three changes are very profound, that it's changing the very fabric of the international financial system. So, uh, technology, well, I see uh, today that with my experience, any company that do not leverage, be it stock exchange or be it any company that do not leverage on technology, would be uh, the drawback would be that in terms of growth, it would hinder them. It would bring them back. Uh, about 80% of the companies would require technology, whether it's in the form of your ERP or whether it's in the form of your HR management. Now it's becoming increasingly technological based. So the capital market is, in fact, in the forefront uh, for this change. We have today, this technology shaping, how capital markets should function. Uh, we have, I'm sure you remember in the documentaries or movies, or if you have watched about Bombay Stock Exchange, if you have watched about the scam, I don't know whether uh, there's a series on that by Harshad Mehta. If you look at there's a trading pit, and today from that trading pit, it has evolved to more high frequency technology based, where markets are being monitored, markets are being guided by artificial intelligence. You have predictive modeling, where AI driven algorithms make investors more uh, pronounced to risks. You have fintech, you have blockchain, which is again decentralizing the financial system. The Like I said, if you want to raise funds, now you have something called token offering, which is changing the landscape of fundraising. You're able to raise through STO, if the asset class, unfortunately, just now it's been still being tested in our world. Uh, this tokenization has been a very frequently used word for the financial market. You have, digital assets, which, of course, I don't know whether you read or not. Bhutan has adopted digital asset as one of the key assets, and today I think Bhutan is the fourth largest uh, holder of Bitcoin, and we're very open to cryptocurrencies which are stable. Uh, we also now are open for services uh, through Binance, and you're able to pay through cryptocurrency. Of course, it will translate to stablecoin, and ultimately, it will use the banking channels. We have big data, which again is changing the landscape of financial institutions, where large volumes of data are being analyzed, and then uh, uh, you have a predictive modeling based on this. Then artificial intelligence and machine learnings, everything is trying to uh, uh, bring in a real-time decision making. So these things are changing. uh, I may not please let me know if there are any questions at the later
Yeah,
stage.
Mr. Dorji, we are not able to see the slides. Is that it's not moving? Is that how it is meant to
Oh,
be?
technology, are we on technology?
No, no, we are on the first slide only.
Oh, oh, sucks. Sorry. Mhm. Oh, oh, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. It happens. We are on
Oh,
inclusivity in
I
global capital markets.
sorry. I was thinking that,
Yeah,
is it?
inclusivity in global capital markets.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure. Okay. So, okay. Okay. So, are we in the inclusivity?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Well, I touched upon the technology aspects.
Yeah. Please,
Uh,
please go ahead.
well, I'm not able to. Just hold on. Sorry.
No, no, if you can share the slide with us, we can as well display it on your behalf.
Okay. Uh, okay. Sorry. So, okay. Hold on. Uh, are we on now? Rise on green.
Yes,
Are we on technology just now?
technology. Yes, technology.
Okay. So this is where I was talking about.
Please go ahead, please.
So thank you, doctor. So we're talking about now empowering, investors through technology. Emerging technologies, like I said, like blockchain and DeFi, are pushing markets towards being more transparent, more, person to person. So today, I'm not sure whether you all have traded on Binance. Today, we are able to buy and sell the digital assets seamlessly, without the interventions of any brokerage firms or any regulatory authority, because now you have again uh, decentralized autonomy, which comes in the form of smart contracts and all those. Well, increasingly, again, if I may say, given my experience, given my uh, exposure to few of these companies, they also fear that computing is going to change, because we thought that blockchain would be again, uh, tamper proof. But I think it's wrong. If quantum computing comes in, then blockchain is going to be useless, because you'll be able to change the records in fraction of seconds. So this is something which is changing the landscape of our financial market. Second is, again, second significant change that we are witnessing is our emphasis on green and sustainable investment. Uh, like I said earlier, we see a growing awareness on ESG standards today. Even if people wants to make or impact investor wants to invest, they would definitely look at data. They would definitely look at standards of how companies are performing in terms of environmental aspects, in terms of social aspects. That is, all these forms of gender, labor conditions, all these things comes in, and of course governance. So they will only invest in these assets which value ESG. So today, if you look at it's expected that around $6 trillion of assets will be under management for ESG assets alone in next 3 to 4 years. Well, double materiality comes into place again. Investors, particularly institutional investors, would not want to look solely on financial return, but they would also want to see the impact as well as sustenance of their investment. So, for instance, investing in a fossil fuel car manufacturing uh, vis-a-vis investment in EV cars. Investor would now prefer to invest in EV cars because this has become the trend and this has become the future. And increasingly, the cars that is driven on fossil fuels are losing their edge in the market. So these preferences are changing again. Well, as an instrument again, green bonds, sustainable funds and impact. Uh, they are, like I said, they are becoming the mainstream, uh, uh, assets and investment portfolios across the group. Like I said, ESG assets under management was projected to surpass 40 trillion by 2030, which according to Bloomberg Intelligence. Uh, Finally, the third aspect is, like I said, technology is in a way democratizing finance. It is becoming more inclusive. We see that with the advent of the online trading platform, mobile apps, tokenization, now we are able to even get access to markets that were only actually reserved for institutional players. Today, you have predictive modeling, you have AI-driven apps which help you as an individual investor, which help you predict and invest based on the risk profiling. Uh, Technology is also again breaking down our geographical barriers. I see that one day we should be able to invest in uh, companies that wants to raise funds in India, or companies that want to raise fund through our platform should be accessible to international investors. So this inclusivity is also defining the change in the financial market, and this is not sparing us as well. So with this, I end my uh, talk, and I'll be happy to clarify if you all have any doubts. Thank you, Doctor. I hand over to you.
Yeah, thanks. So I'd request Dr. Singh to take this part of the session forward. So we can open the floor, Dr. Singh, and you may feel free to manage it as you feel appropriate.
We open the floor for questions, clarifications. I know we missed a lot of the slides. I'm wondering whether Mr. Dorji can show us the slides that we have missed.
Sorry, I muted myself. Is this visible? No.
Yes.
I'm so
So
sorry that I was not able to, you know.
it's a
Um,
quick recap of whatever you've spoken. So the present slide is on the absence of a capital market, the situation that would exist in the absence of a capital market.
True. Yes. Well, then I took you through our GNH philosophy, where what are the pillars and what are our development goals. Um, Following that, I was talking about how important RSEB, for that matter, how important capital market is or stock exchange is for any economy. But in our reference, I, shared how we uh, try to be relevant and more productive in our economy. Uh, Sorry, you missed the slide. And I was talking about the Bhutanese financial system, where we have two regulators, where the responsibility of overseeing financial market is divided between the corporate regulatory authority and the central bank. And like I shared, we have five commercial banks, uh, a digital bank, five non-banking financial institutions where we have pension and provident fund. We have uh, GIC strategic partner, GIC Re. Then we have Druk PNB on the side of commercial bank. We have one of the stakeholder for the largest bank of Bhutan, which is Bank of Bhutan, is State Bank of India. And I was going through the Bhutanese financial market, how what are money market and what are function of capital market, and how the money market has brought efficiency in fundraising, how then what the function of primary market and the secondary market, and how we are trying to look at uh, and include the SMEs through alternative investment market and crowdfunding platform. Then finally, I was talking about the change in the global landscape in the financial market, which has brought by advancement in technology, the rise in demand and preference of the investors and fundraising by the companies, and growing emphasis by the the investors as well as the issuers for inclusivity. So with this, I concluded my presentation.
So do we have any questions from the participants? So, Mr. Dorji, we believe that good things come in small packages, and it's quite a unique way in which your country is uh, governed. The central focus of Bhutan's unique and globally renowned economic philosophy. And I mean, we are really impressed with the way in which you've connected that and something like a capital market, how, the capital market that actually promotes the economy keeps in line with its general philosophy. And it's very impressive what Bhutan has achieved. And on behalf of the team over here, VSEP and the School of Arts and Science, all the participants who've come from different institutions of this particular version of the Idea to Impact series, I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to you for delivering such an insightful and inspiring lecture Your talk, like I said, has really illuminated Bhutan's unique philosophy centered around the gross national happiness index, a model that actually prioritizes holistic well-being. Well, I just got a, message that our dean Deb has a question, so I allow him to share that question.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thanks, ma'am. I was just waiting and trying to assemble my thoughts.
Sure.
See, in as far as I have understood or I have known the country, whatever through internet or whatever it is, I've seen that the country, apart from a lot of other aspects, there is the kind of public awareness in terms of I'm not sure, because India is also suffering through this kind of issues. Not India, only India, but probably it's a global issue that a significant portion of the population lacks exposure to capital markets. Now, Bhutan, in terms of its geography, in terms of its demography, the all these aspects, how do you what are your plans, or how do you see this issue of exposure to capital markets and the basic financial concepts, which would probably enable them to operate through the RACB? Because this one. Second is, as of now, if I'm not wrong, the contribution of the people, or the people who generally contributes to the traditional form of savings, like gold or banks, rather than
Mhm.
investments. So how do you, or what are your plans to overcome these things, given the other constraints that you face in Bhutan? And the other part is regarding, uh, when you talk about those investments, of course, it's directly related to the growth of the country. And of course, Bhutan is not only Bhutan, every country should also perhaps take growth and development as two parallel things that should happen parallelly. So, in your country, do you have a plan to create micro investment platforms, or let's say digital inclusion tools, to bring in the first time or small scale investors into the securities market? So, I mean, this is related to the first question. So, it's all about how do
Yes.
yeah. So, if you
Sure.
can just help us
Thank
understand.
you. Thank you, Doctor. We in fact, like I said, mentioned earlier, uh, creating investment avenue is one, but what is important is making people understand is a challenge. So that's where when financial literacy comes into play. Like I said, I always share this. Maybe uh, we say gross national happiness is our principle or our goal, but related to that, without financial well-being, we don't see people being content.
Exactly.
So financial well-being is the key to contentment. But it doesn't mean that you need to be greedy. There are certain metrics. Well, based on that, we found that in our part of the world, financial literacy is very weak. And in fact, not only our part of the world, but the first world as well. You look at Americans, they live on paycheck to paycheck, they live on credit cards. And the good thing about 2008 financial crisis has brought about was that their emphasis on financial literacy, their emphasis on financial literacy as a life skill, as a soft skill, which I feel that we all should embrace that. I'm not sure because I can understand from my references in India, RBI really promotes financial literacy. But I don't know, given the size of the population, I'm not sure to what extent it has been effective. But for Bhutan, we are blessed. Number one, with small size. Second, with a young population who are now very techno savvy, who have access to all kinds of channels. So as stock exchange, we are continuously trying to promote this public awareness on financial literacy through various platforms. We also have Friday sessions online, which gives you a fundamental of financial literacy, fundamental of stock exchanges, how to budget, what are needs, what are wants, how do you save, and what are the products. These are our continuous effort in promoting financial literacy, and we know that financial literacy will be a key to discipline our youths as well, because being financially responsible means you have achieved a level of skills that will bring in discipline in all aspects of life. So I feel it's very important, and we are trying to champion on this. And related to your question on micro savings, yes, actually, we brought in, besides, yes, the crowdfunding platform was one of the avenues that could validate, that could, encourage people to invest in startups. But unfortunately, our ecosystem is still at a nascent stage, and has not really promoted well-defined startups which had potential to, be a unicorn one day. But having said that, we are still open to, garnering investment from micro, you know, uh, institutions as well as public. But at the same time, uh, in terms of penetration, in terms of, other services, banking services, we have penetrated. Again, uh, having said that, we are blessed with small population, so we're able to do that. So I hope it answers your question, Doctor.
That's really interesting. That's really interesting. Yeah, I mean, yeah, when you were mentioning these things, I was actually thinking that's a kind of bliss. It's a small population, whereas for us, yes, RBI is promoting a lot of campaigns, a lot of initiatives are being taken by RBI. But again, yes, absolutely right. It's an ever-growing population in India, and the variety of population is different. So not like the one that you have mentioned. So challenges are different, but yes, I think what you said makes a lot of sense and seems quite interesting. Maybe we
Well,
can get back
just,
to you on
just to
this
add,
later on. We
just
can
to
exchange some more.
just to add on to what I said. In fact, I've been a very strong proponent to add financial literacy in the mainstream curriculum, starting from the primary level, so that, I can see how, because this has been tested with my children as well. I can see how responsible they become after knowing what financial
No,
literacy is about. So I hope
I completely
our
agree with you.
policymakers would include financial literacy as one of the life skill and introduce in our curriculums. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Dorji. Uh, uh, Dr. Singh, would you like to conclude?
Well, that was a really interesting take on financial literacy, the need for financial literacy at the primary level. I was really wondering how, like I was impressed by, as I was saying, how you've connected your country's unique stand on this, the gross national happiness index, and connected it to the capital market. And I see that the value system, it keeps it's not lost, because you clearly pointed out to us that the goal of your government is to ensure, to preserve the environment, to have inclusive growth, and to foster, I think you said, self-reliant communities, and even to preserve your cultural identity. And that is a model that, I mean, you should be proud of. So, and you have taken us into the using this as the background, you have brought us into what the capital market actually is in Bhutan. Like I said earlier, small is beautiful over here. And you have taught us a lesson that we can achieve much, even if the world marks it as, not profitable. We can turn it around. It's just a matter of perspective. So we're especially grateful for your reflections on how Bhutan's commitment to a global cause, even environmental sustainability and inclusiveness, is being strengthened in this digital era. Your emphasis on the transformative power of technology, the power of youth, breaking down of geographical barriers, enabling people from all corners of the world to contribute to an economy's development. It resonates deeply with the spirit of innovation and global citizenship that actually this series seeks to foster. Thank you so much, Mr. Dorji, for spending your time with us, for educating us, and for inspiring us, because we too have learned much from your sharing and from your country. We're glad that we are connected this way. And we hope to be in touch with you and gain more from your experience. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Madam Director, for the kind words. Of course, I hope what it matters is whatever I spoke is relevant, particular to the students, because this is something which I've deeply experienced. And in fact, when I structured only, I thought, of course, as a student, you may be bored, you may be, you may lose your interest, but I'm happy that I was able to, contribute, speak my mind with where my passion is. So thank you very much for the opportunity, Madam Director and Dr. Thakur, for considering me as, one of the speaker for your program.
I can only say we are honored to have you, Mr. Dorji, and this is just the beginning. I'm sure we'll continue to have more meaningful interactions in the days ahead. Thanks to everyone. Thanks to Dr. Singh and all the participants from VSEP, SAS, and outside the university as well. Have a nice evening.
All right. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye. I'll share the slides.
Please. Yeah.
All right. Have a good night.
Same here. Bye.